Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and felt like you weren't truly allowed to fall back asleep? I used to dream a lot. Every night, I would dream, sometimes about silly things like forgetting to wear pants to work, other times about dreams so beautiful I didn't want to wake up. I considered dreams normal, even enjoyable, until one night when everything stopped. It happened about a year ago when I moved to live alone in an old apartment in the northern suburbs. A place with nothing special, quiet, good air, cheap, and most importantly, far from the city. I thought I would sleep better away from the honking cars and city lights. But it turned out I had brought myself to the very place where dreams no longer existed. The first night, I didn't dream. I remember clearly because I woke up with a strange feeling, as if someone had flipped a switch in my head while I was trying to recall something important. I didn't think much of it. Just one night, I told myself. The second night, no dreams. And the third night. Then the fourth, fifth, sixth. 7 nights in a row, I had no dreams. No images. No sounds. Just a dense blackness. Stretching from the moment I closed my eyes until I woke up, heart racing, not understanding what was happening. Strangely, during the day I was still alert. No signs of insomnia, no fatigue. But my mind was empty, as if my subconscious was being locked away by an invisible hand. And what scared me the most was that I began to remember old dreams, those recurring dreams throughout my youth, and I realized there was always something standing behind me in those dreams. I had never noticed, never looked directly at it, but now with all dreams gone, I felt it was getting closer. On the 8th night, I couldn't sleep, not because I was alert, but because something in the room made me afraid to close my eyes. The room was completely dark, but I knew something was standing in the corner where the shadows were deepest. I couldn't see it, but I was certain it was watching me. No sound, no movement, just an invisible pressure, heavy like a boulder pressing on my chest. I lay still, not daring to breathe heavily. If I moved, if I looked toward it, I knew it would come closer. I didn't sleep that night, nor the next. On the 10th day, since I lost my dreams, I truly went mad. I tried everything to dream again. Sleeping pills, meditation, reading books to stimulate the subconscious, even watching dream-inducing videos on YouTube. Nothing worked. Sleep came like a blackout, and I fell into a pitch-black void. But then, on the 11th night, I dreamed. And I wished I had never dreamed again. I dreamed I was standing in the middle of a dark dirt road. No lights, no moonlust, just rows of trees on both sides, tall and silent like grave watchers waiting for me to pass. I didn't know why I was there. I felt no wind, heard no insects, couldn't feel my body, only consciousness drifting in the bone-chilling cold. And I knew clearly that this dream wasn't mine. Something was lending me the dream, and it was watching me from the outside. I began to walk, not out of curiosity, not out of hope, but because I had no other choice. The road had no end, and the trees on both sides seemed to shift, squeezing the space tighter each time I looked back. Then I heard footsteps behind me. At first, very faint, like someone stepping lightly on dry leaves. I stopped. The footsteps stopped too. I tried walking faster. They quickened as well. I didn't turn around. In dreams, you know something horrifying is standing behind you, and your deepest instincts beg you not to look back. But I wasn't strong enough. I turned around. No one was there, only darkness. But when I turned my head forward, it was there, no more than 3 steps away. A pitch-black figure, as if all light had been drained from it. No discernible head, no arms, no legs. Just a standing mass, trembling slightly as if breathing or waiting for me to breathe so it could mimic. I couldn't scream, couldn't run, couldn't continue the dream. It raised its hand, or something like a hand, and touched my chest. I felt it. Not through touch, but through my mind, as if it was inserting something into my head, like a parasitic consciousness. And then I woke up, my eyes wide open. I was still in my old, shabby room. The ceiling stained with water spots, the small night light flickering due to weak wiring. But I was no longer myself. I knew that immediately, not because something was inside me, but because I was outside. I no longer controlled my body. I was looking through my own eyes, but couldn't control where my head turned. My hands moved, but not by my will. My feet stepped off the bed, coldly touching the tile floor, but I only felt it from a distance. I had become a spectator in my own body. I didn't know what was controlling me, but it didn't need to speak. I felt its purpose like a constant whisper echoing from within my skull. You have dreamed. Now it's my turn. I lived like that for 3 days. My body still went to work, still ate, still called friends. But that wasn't me. I just observed. And what terrified me most was, no one noticed. Not a single person knew the one talking to them wasn't me. They still laughed, still chatted, still believed they were meeting the right person. I screamed inside my head, tried every way to regain control, like someone locked in a basement, banging on the door endlessly with no one hearing. And then, on the 4th night, I was returned. I woke up as if I had never left. My body was mine again. I felt every finger, every breath. I cried like a child. But that comfort didn't last. Because as soon as I touched the bathroom mirror, I realized the eyes in there weren't mine. I stood motionless before the mirror. My eyes in the mirror didn't blink. Even when I did, they looked at me, truly looked, as if something sitting deep within my mind had now taken over the last reflection I still possessed. I tried turning away and looking back. This time, my image in the mirror was half a beat slower. Not noticeable to outsiders, but I knew. I felt that delay like a crack in reality. And I understood it hadn't left. It no longer controlled me, but it was still there, hidden in my mind, waiting for another opportunity. That night, I didn't sleep. And then the next night, and the night after, each night, I faced an impossible decision. Sleep and confront it, or stay awake and gradually wither under the dim yellow bedroom light. But the human body isn't designed to resist sleep forever. A week later, I dozed off on the sofa. And this time, there was no dream. No dirt road, no darkness, no pitch black figure. Just an empty room. A room I had never seen in real life. Stark white. No doors. No furniture. And I stood there, naked, trembling like a mouse in a pre-constructed maze. I began to scream. Not out of fear, but because I wanted to wake myself up. But no sound came out, as if that room was completely detached from the physical world. Then, from the ceiling, eyes began to open. Not all at once. One by one. Eyes as large as palms, bloodshot, squinting and trembling as if seeing light for the first time after centuries underground. I couldn't count them all. They covered the ceiling, then crawled down the walls. A voice echoed, not from any single entity, but from everywhere. From the walls themselves. From within my chest. You have seen me. Now I will remember you forever. I woke up with a sharp pain in my temple. Drenched in sweat, heart pounding wildly. The room's light flickered as if the electricity was unstable. I looked at the clock. 3:33 nachts. Since that night, every time I sleep, I no longer dream. I don't fall into darkness either. Instead, I open my eyes in that same white room. Every time, still no exit. Still thousands of eyes looking down at me. Still the feeling of being observed like a specimen. Something that has been marked, remembered. And the worst part is, I'm starting to feel familiar with that place. At first, I counted each night I stayed in that room. Now, I don't remember the last time I wasn't there. I began to sleep more. Not because I was tired, but because a part of me wanted to return, wanted to be there. In that absolute silence, where no one could find me. No work, no messages, no responsibilities. Just me and thousands of eyes that never blink. I don't know if this is how it fully takes over me. I no longer care. I think I've started to love that room. Do you still dream? If you do, cherish every moment of it. Because once you stop dreaming, that thing will have room to step in. Don't forget to like the video if this story touched something deeper than fear. And if you still dare to dream, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss stories like this. But if tonight you dream of a white room, then I'm sorry. Perhaps I've just sent it to you.